Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have a special guest, Stephen Ford.
Hi everyone.
So we are going to do a new makeup releases chat, and Stephen is here visiting in Seattle, so we thought this would be a fun way to film together without too much pressure.
Yeah, we already talk about new releases as it is, like every day. So this would just be a fun way for us to share our opinions with all of you.
Yep. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. And do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Sure. So my name is Stephen. I am a queer content creator on YouTube and Instagram, taking a little bit of a break right now. But my content generally focuses on using the stuff that I already own, learning to love what I have, and focusing on not buying new stuff. So in this year I did a no buy all the way through, successfully all the way through June, I believe it was. I made it 6 months, and then everything hit the fan, as they say. And now I'm in recovery mode. So, but yeah, so that's basically me.
So you will not be buying any of the things we talk about.
I shouldn't be buying any of the things that we're talking about unless I've already bought them.
That is true. Okay, so let's get started. So like I said, we're going to be doing a new makeup releases video. I do this periodically on my channel, not regularly, because they're a pain to film and edit. So it's been a while since I've done one, and you haven't done something like this in a while. So
no, I used to do the Makeup Magpies live with Betsy Gocher, Nadia Gocher, and Rupi Minhas. Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time. So.
And then I take inspiration from Teresa is Dead and her makeup bingo, and I drink while I film these.
So I'm also having a drink. And we gotta hurry up because I gotta go catch a flight soon. So, yeah. So I'm gonna be on my phone, and we're gonna just be scrolling through. We're starting off with Trendstopia right now, but we might flip over to another account if we get bored on this one. And the first thing that we have to talk about is this new highlighter palette from Blend Bunny's Cosmetics.
Yes, this is the, I don't want to try to say the name of it.
Noctilucent.
Okay, that sounds, I don't like the name.
Yeah, Noctilucent highlighter palette.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
And we'll put them like probably here between us.
Yeah, even if it's just for a second so you can see. What do you think about this?
I think it's pretty, but I don't need it. I feel like it's kind of similar to the Kaleidos highlighters that I have and the Oden's Eye highlighters I have, just put in a palette. Mm-hmm. So I don't wear colorful highlighters enough. Like the only one I want is the green and the gold, but I have those shades. I don't think I would wear the pinky ones or the purple at all. They just look weird against my skin.
So when I look at this, I see eyeshadows.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's like looking at the swatches, they look like toppery, shiny, shimmery, beautiful eyeshadows. They don't look like highlighters for me.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person who likes to wear a highlighter that is very like glow from within. I like my highlighters.
Kind of like what I have on.
Yeah, exactly. What are you wearing today?
The new Natasha Denona face palette.
Yeah, which looks amazing on you. I feel that that's kind of my highlighter. I wanted my highlighters to be like my skin tone, just like a little like reflective.
Yeah, I that's my go-to is like my skin tone or like kind of a gold, because olive. But I do really like the multi-chrome highlighters from Kaleidos, because they have, the one I have has kind of a peachy gold base to it, so it blends into my skin and then just has like a green flash.
Yeah.
And then I have the Oden's Eye green highlighter, which is like blends into my skin, and then when I turn, there's like a pop of green, so it looks really interesting against my green skin.
Yeah. This is, by the way, we didn't say, but it is $40, and it launched on the 2nd of September. And there's definitely codes out there if this is something that interests you.
I think Millie has one.
Yeah, Millie definitely has one, and you can save usually probably like 10% or so. For me, this is definitely a pass because of the fact that like I would view this as just eyeshadow because I don't wear these kind of highlighters. Yeah. I think it's pretty as like a 6-pan bundle of eyeshadow, but yeah. I mean, I generally like Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Have you tried anything from them?
Nope.
Okay.
I want to, but I haven't.
Okay, I should have brought those with and you could have played with them.
I really only want the first palette because I don't own a rainbow palette and I like the gradient system of it. The other ones don't really speak to me at all.
Okay, yeah. It's weird that you don't own a rainbow palette, but...
I know. The couple times I've done like a really bold rainbow look, I had to pull out like 9 palettes to do it, and it was a pain in the ass.
Well, the Blend Bunny one is really good for creating nice, blended, colorful looks. So if I had to get rid of all of my like colorful, rainbowy eyeshadow palettes, I probably would keep the Blend Bunny one, to be honest. But anyway, so let's move on.
So the next thing that popped up is the new Danessa Meyer's Lightworks Volume 4. Yeah, Lightroom Volume 4. I think it's pretty. I don't feel the need. I didn't buy the last one either. I just don't feel the need for a big palette like this. It's expensive. I have a lot of those shades as singles or something similar enough. I don't like flaky shades, which I think this has some.
Yeah, it does.
And like there's 2 that have a weird gel-like consistency looking to them, and that's an automatic no for me. I hate that kind of a shadow. Gel things on my face just feel, I don't like the texture of it.
Yeah, they look like putty.
Yeah, I can't.
That to me is very, to me it's very like avant-garde, kind of like fashion, like makeup looks, you know, like a very textured eyeshadow is not something that like your everyday person is going to be wearing.
Yeah.
It's really like, I feel like intended for Instagram, YouTube, photography, like those types of creative looks.
Which I enjoy doing those looks periodically for just to get the idea I have in my head out as a photo or something, but I don't like the texture of like gel putty things. So I just don't want to put that on my face.
Yeah. Also, like you were saying, you know, I have a pretty decent sized collection of singles.
Yeah, you do.
A very big collection of singles. I have no more room for singles, none. And I look at this and I'm like, I have all of these shades already.
Yeah. I think these are a great option for people who don't buy singles though.
Yeah. Also, the price is $125.
That's a lot of money.
For 14 pans. Now, the thing is, if you're buying 14 eyeshadows from a brand like Clionadh,
it's going to be more than that.
You're going to be spending $125 or more.
Yep.
And if you go for Terra Moons, you could maybe be around that same price as well.
Depending on the formula.
Or if you're getting a sale.
Yep.
So I don't think it's unfairly priced.
No.
I just know for me, I don't need it. Also, there's other brands out there who have all shimmer palettes that are this creative, like Gourmand Girls or Sugar Drizzle Polish. Is that their name? Sugar Drizzle?
Sugar Drizzle. I just call them Sugar Drizzle.
Sugar Drizzle. There's a ton of brands out there who are like these smaller indie brands, and you can get a palette like this, 14 or more shades
for like $50, $60, something
50, 60, plus there's always a creator code out there to save money. So like, I like it in theory, but it's not something that I would ever buy.
Same. Okay, the next thing is the Haus Labs Foundation, which came out last week, and I bought the day it came out, thankfully. They're finally in a bunch of Sephora's, because they were in like 20, Haus Labs was only in like 20 Sephora's, like LA, New York, and a couple other random ones. And now they're in 500 Sephora stores across the US, so
it's like kind of like it was kind of like a soft launch.
And so like they just launched in like 500 stores, and most of the ones around Seattle had Haus Labs. So I went while they were pulling it out and putting it on the shelves and bought it. And I've worn it every day for the last 4 days while Steven's been here.
It's basically like when the first iPhone came out and people were like camped out in front of the doors in their tents, like, give me the iPhone. You were like that because you're like, give me the Haus Labs Foundation.
I thought, because they opened at like 11 and I think I got there at 1, and they were just like, half of it had been put out and they were still putting out more and like putting stuff in the drawers, so I was in the way. But they went all out. Like they had the playlist for the whole day, they said, was Lady Gaga. Like they were like celebrating.
Yeah.
I walked in and I heard Lady Gaga and I was like, oh yeah, they're going themed.
So let's tell them about the products a little bit.
So it is the Bio Blurring Talc-Free Loose Setting Powder for $38. It's 5 shades. So there's like a translucent, a peach, a golden, a darker shade, like a tan, and then a dark shade, like cocoa.
Yeah, it looks like a cocoa powder.
It actually looks like cocoa And then there's the Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation with fermented arnica for $45. And then they released a brush as well. I bought all 3. And I'm wearing all 3 right now. Well,
have you used the brush yet?
2. Yes.
Okay.
I used the brush 3 of the 4 times that I've worn it.
Okay. Well, we're not going to tell them too much about it because we want.
I will have a video on that this week.
Yes. But the preview review
is I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and so am I. And this might be my next foundation. It says medium coverage, but I would say like it could be like medium to light, honestly, the way that you can put it on. So
yeah, I did a fairly light coverage. I did like a pump and a half for my whole face, but some of that gets lost in the brush itself. And I had a little extra on my hand when I was done. But if you did like 2 pumps or more, you could build it up to fuller coverage. I'm
really happy to see Haus Labs going this direction. I know that you didn't have any trouble using Haus Labs before, like the OG brand. But I know a lot of people were like annoyed with them, or they weren't like.
Oh yeah, I have whole rants about that.
Yeah, people just weren't into it. Let's just say that.
People weren't into it. Part of it was the Amazon thing, which I didn't love that they were with Amazon.
Amazon kind of cheapened it.
Yeah, the packaging, I liked the look of the packaging, but it didn't feel as luxe as it does now. But a lot of it was, I remember watching a lot of videos and people saying like, this isn't what I expected from Lady Gaga. I expected like more outlandish makeup. And it was like, but if you actually watch Lady Gaga over the years, she did avant-garde makeup, but mostly it was like eyeliner or like blocked colors. Like a lot of the avant-garde stuff was her outfits, not the makeup. Like she wasn't doing multi-chrome eyeshadow. Like people were like, I expected multi-chrome eyeshadows and like bright colors. And it was like, when have you ever seen her wear those eyeshadows?
Yeah.
Like you have a made up version of her in your head and you're judging the brand on that.
Yeah. Maybe like the Art Pop album cover where she had like the paint splotches on her.
Yeah.
But other than that, like she's pretty like neutral with her makeup and then allows the clothes to kind of speak.
Yeah, it's more fashion than makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So with this release, how many shades are there?
51.
Okay, there's 51 shades, and
it's a really nice shade range. I've been pleasantly surprised, and I've seen swatches on darker skin tones, and I find a lot of brands when they launch darker foundations, even my tone of foundation, like I can't find a shade because they just don't. They're weirdly orange or something. But these are realistic shades, and I think they did a really good job with that. I think it's funny how confused people are by the shade range.
It is a little confusing if you're used to shopping like, well, it could be confusing if you're used to shopping for foundation from the standard brands out there.
Yeah.
Because of the way they describe the tones. You know, everyone's used to warm being like golden, and they're used to like cool being pink. And Lady Gaga
has it the opposite.
Haus Labs did it the opposite, which is more in line with someone like
MAC and I would say it's similar into other makeup artist brands, but like Pat McGrath doesn't list medium, cool, or anything as part of, like, she doesn't group them that way, and neither does Lisa Eldridge, but
yeah. But it looks like a good shade range. We've heard from people with deeper complexion that they're happy with it.
Yeah.
So I will let you know how it works for someone with lighter complexion.
And I'm gonna post a review sometime this week.
Yes.
I've been showing Steven around Seattle for the last 4 days, so I haven't filmed or done anything.
No. So you can blame me for the lack of videos recently. And only me.
The next thing that pops up is the Shroud Batty Bean collab, the Hallow Bean palette. I did already buy this. It hasn't shipped yet, but I know it wasn't a pre-order. It was just a normal, like, they pre-made everything to avoid the issues of last time. So I'm really excited for this. I think it's really cute. What are your thoughts? I saw it and was immediately like, I need this.
Yeah, I really like Batty Bean. She's one of the reasons why I started playing with colorful makeup. She's how I discovered Nomad Cosmetics, actually. And I fell in love with that brand, and I just adore her on every level. I think she's really cool, really chill and everything. So I'm really happy for her that she gets a second collaboration. I have the first palette and I absolutely love it. This one for me is a skip just because of the tones. I don't really wear orange a lot or like the
green.
Yeah, although I'm wearing some green today, but like, I don't know, like it's just very shouty Halloween for me.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like
that's not very you.
No, I feel like the first palette is a lot more my speed, like with like the cooler tones and everything like that, like the purples.
I agree. This is one that I look at and I don't see a Steven palette. Like I see Steven palettes. I do think it's funny that you're wearing a bunch of green colorful eyeshadow and I'm wearing like a neutral taupey bronze.
It's almost like I did your eyeshadow today.
And I did yours. I'm even wearing Natasha Denona.
I am wearing, by the way, I don't have it with me in front of me, but I'm wearing Colin's Trixie Cosmetics Plant Gabe eyeshadow palette, and then a little bit of Natasha Denona.
Because you can't help yourself.
Because I can't help myself, and also I cannot say her name.
Natasha
Denona.
When I was trying to go to her website yesterday, I put Natasha Denina.
Denina, I do that too. So I look at this palette and I'm like, it's really pretty, and I was tempted by it because I'm like, well, I have the first one, I need to get the second one, but I...
Also no buying.
Yeah, but luckily I was busy when it launched and it sold out very quickly.
Yeah.
And they will be restocking this at some point in, I think, late September, October.
I think they said October.
So that people can buy it then if they want to. Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get mine before the restock so that I can review it before it restocks too.
Yeah. I really like the shade Crypt and Losers Club. I think those two are like really pretty.
Crypt is like my kind of neutral.
Yeah. It reminds me of a shade from the Gold palette, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It actually kind of looks like my foundation color, just like really concentrated.
Yeah.
So the next thing that popped up is this Bobbi Brown Fall 2020 collection. I don't know who they're collabing with. Like, I've never heard of this before, but this doesn't say Bobbi Brown to me at all. Like, when I think Bobbi Brown, I think old white lady, no makeup kind of thing. And this is like expensive looking packaging, but like very childish theming. And like, I don't get it.
It's like the kind of makeup that a rich grandma would buy her grandkids.
Yes.
Which is just weird. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Takidaki or Tokidoki. It's coming later this fall. Could be Asian exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cute. It just doesn't say Bobbi Brown to me at all. That's the thing.
No. I did recently drunk buy a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow palette. Got the email notification that it had shipped out, and I was like, that's interesting. I don't remember buying this one, so we'll see what happens with that. I might return it.
I suggest returning that.
So it's just very weird. This definitely does not look like Bobbi Brown. It looks cheap. This looks, when we were scrolling past, I was like, oh, this is just drugstore makeup.
Yeah, it looks like Wet n Wild.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, no shade to anybody who wants it. It just doesn't say Bobbi Brown to me. That's what's jumped out.
Absolute shade to anybody who wants it. You shouldn't want this.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Next.
Okay, so next we have the new Kaleidos Night of Creation collection. I think this is really pretty. I think I'm gonna skip buying it though. I don't like quads. I love their eyeshadow formula and I like the colors. I just don't like quads because you can really only do like one look. And the eyeliners are really pretty, but I don't feel like an eyeliner is the best format for multi-chrome. Like, a wing liner is so little that you're not going to see it much, and I kind of feel like I'd rather just put glitter glue and one of my multi-chromes down on my lid. Like, I wanted to get them, and then I saw the price, and I was like, no, I don't have a job right now. I should probably hold off.
Yeah. I'm not interested in quads either. I find quads to be limiting. I think my perfect size is probably like 9 to 12 pans. 15 I think is fine too. But like anything bigger than that is like a little too overwhelming, and anything smaller than like 6 pans is like
too limiting.
Yeah, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they're good for travel. Like, I traveled here with 2 minis from Natasha Denona, so I had 5 pans in each, and that's honestly like perfect because I basically brought a 10 pan.
Yeah.
But with these, so like if I were to get something like this, I would view this as one 8-pan just split up into.
Yeah, I wish it was a 10-pan palette with those 8 shades and then 2 others, like 2 other shimmers or something like.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of limiting, and I agree about the multi-chrome eyeliners. We've been seeing multi-chrome eyeliners for
a little while now,
like at least a year and a half now. I know Sugar Drizzle has some, and I think like they are definitely not.
I like them in theory.
Yeah, they're just not special.
Yeah, I really like the look of this. I like the vibe. I like the thoughts behind it. I like it. I just don't have the money / need for it.
Yeah.
And because I'm such a small channel, I don't feel the need to buy. I just can't afford to buy everything just to review it. So I just can't.
I understand. So let's move on
to Besame. Besame, what is it, like Disney villains, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney needs to slow down on the collabs. I feel like they're just constantly collabing with people.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of boring. The palette looks like it's from like Storybook Cosmetics or like Makeup Revolution or something. I like the nail polishes, and I like the little like the Ursula thing, but it's like really expensive, and Teresa's Dead was mad when she bought one and was like, it's just a stupid powder. I do like the llama nail polish, the little llama poison nail polish. I kind of want that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But Besame is expensive.
Yeah.
Like it's unnecessarily expensive for something that looks this cheap.
Yeah, I kind of just want that nail polish just because. Yeah. But that's about it.
You know, you could just find a pink nail polish and stick a picture of a llama on it.
Yeah. It's just, but the special bottle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't need it.
I've always wondered with like Disney collaborations if it's a matter of Disney reaching out to brands and saying, hey, will you do this? Or if it's a brand being like, we have an idea and then we pay Disney to use their IP.
It's that.
Yeah. So
anybody who's willing to give them money, they say yes to, it seems like.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Like, I feel like Disney should want to protect their intellectual property and not let boring things like this
exist.
But whatevs, not my problem.
Just a restock.
Do we want to talk about this?
Sure. There's the whole Harry Potter ColourPop controversy. I've spoken about this on my channel, on my community page, and on my Instagram quite a bit. I think I'm done with ColourPop after this. Their response has been bad. They said they were going to donate money, but they didn't say how much. And then they're like, but let's do a fundraiser so that our customers can, like, no, you make millions of dollars. You have enough money to donate yourself. Like, no, I unsubscribed from everything ColourPop.
Well, it could be a situation where the donation has already been made. Like, they already donated $2,000, so now what they're doing is asking for donations from their customers so that they can offset the donation that they've already made. Which is something that, like, places like when you're going through the drive-thru and they're like, do you want to round up to make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital? And you're like, I would love to. That company's most likely already made a major donation, and now they're trying to make money back to pay back what they've already donated. Yep,
which doesn't... They made hundreds of millions of dollars last year. Like, they don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all. It really put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate, I do want to say, as far as the Harry Potter ColourPop thing, I really appreciate Tim Talia's response to things. She's gotten a lot of hate for it, but she stood up for queer people. She said it wasn't okay. She gave resources to explain why it wasn't okay, and she's made donations herself. Like, I think she's done a great job.
Yeah, and we're currently on Trendstopia Instagram page, who's also like a very strong ally. I don't know if Trendstopia is part of the community, but they are a pretty amazing ally so far. My personal stake in this I'm cis, so I don't really have a personal stake in this except for the fact that like my friends are affected by the things that J.K. Rowling does, and so for that matter, like I am you know, I'm an avid supporter and ally in any way that I can. You know, I'm part of the community, but that's like, you know,
a different subsection of it.
Exactly. My queer siblings, as I say. So I feel like in this case, I wasn't interested in buying ColourPop to begin with because I don't really care for ColourPop. You know, it's kind of like one of those things like when you start using Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, it's hard to go back to like drugstore quality makeup. So in the case of this, I wasn't going to buy it anyways. Also, I hate IP collaborations because I think they're just really gimmicky and really childish, and that's just not my thing. I know like you bought the Winnie the Pooh thing, and other
I bought a
things
few
like
of
that.
them.
No hate to anyone who's into that kind of stuff. It's just not my vibe, so I wasn't interested in it anyways. And then to be reminded of all the things that J.K. Rowling stands for and what she has done, you know, it's like, it's definitely a no for me from ColourPop or any brand that ever does anything with J.K. Rowling. Like, any brand that ever does anything with J.K. Rowling is an absolute no for me forever, basically, because she decided to use her power and influence to
attack marginalized people.
Yeah, attack marginalized people who they felt like she stood up for them at one point. You know, it's very weird. It's like, it's almost like the queer community has been like gaslit by her or something like that.
Yeah, I get that.
Talk about this?
Sure. I want to know your thoughts. So next we have the new Glamorous palette. It's the Glamorous palette. I think this is really pretty. I have the Nocturnal palette and I do like it a lot. I think I have a video of that coming soon too once I finish it. I really like the idea behind this. I like the brand a lot. They're very nice. I've talked to them. I want to give away from them. The shimmers in this are what I want. I don't really want the mattes.
Yeah, I feel similarly about that.
Like they have a good matte formula. The tones just aren't speaking to me right now.
Yeah. So I have not used Glaminatrix, so I can't speak on the quality or whether I like the formula.
You should have tried my palette.
I should have tried the palette. I have an order from Glaminatrix that will be coming in at some point. I did order the neutral palette. And
I want that so much.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. I ordered the neutral palette and then a bunch of singles, which brings me to my next point is I've noticed that sometimes they will release the singles for palettes
after
to be purchased as singles.
Yep.
So in that case, I see these and I think I would be willing to purchase a few of these shimmers as singles at some point in the future, as part of like another order or something. Because I agree, I'm not really that interested in these mattes. I tend to be the person who uses like a neutral base with my mattes and then I want to add like a colorful shimmer on top. I don't really like doing too much out there mattes. Like today is like pretty colorful for me, and it's more of like a smoky green, so.
Yeah, you definitely did a me look.
Yeah.
I just don't wear like very bold jewel tones like this very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like colorful looks, but I just don't wear these specific tones enough to, like if they were a US based brand, I might buy it, but because it's from Australia, like the price is okay. It's 58 USD, which is not a bad price which is a good price for their quality, but then I have to pay a bunch of international shipping on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then the palette ends up being like a $70-something palette, and I don't $70-something want it.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I know a lot of people have had experiences with the shimmers breaking in transit.
That was especially the Nocturnal palette. Mine came broken too, but I was able to smush them back in.
Okay. If anyone's interested in this palette, it will be launching on the 25th. I'm not sure when this video is going up, but it will be launching on the 25th at 8 a.m. I'm guessing that's Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's going to be the September 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States.
Okay.
So that'll be 3 p.m. the 24th on the West Coast.
Yeah, so I won't be buying this. Colin, you're not buying this. But, you know, I know a lot of people probably will be buying this, so just check YouTube for some reviews if you're interested.
Yeah.
Say it properly this time. Next up is the new Natasha Denona My Dream Collection. There's an eyeshadow palette, a cheek trio, lip gloss, lipstick, and lip liner. Colin, you purchased the eyeshadow palette and the cheek trio?
Yes, and that's what I'm wearing today to try them out before I do my review. I did not buy the lip products because I did not think those colors, one, they're existing colors already, and also I did not think they would look good on my skin tone. It looks too similar to my skin tone, and I don't need to buy a lip product to give myself concealer lips.
Yeah. I also purchased the eyeshadow palette. I don't have it with me. I haven't used it yet. It's waiting for me at home. We did meet up with Jamila last night,
Yep.
and she was wearing it, and
It looked great.
It looked really good. She was wearing Vision all over the eyelid, which is the multi-chrome, and I was really happy to see.
Yeah, it looked really good on her.
Yeah, it looked really good on her. It was like, it looked a little bit like Color Flip from Triochrome, except it had more sparkle.
Yeah.
And the fact that it had like the sparkle and it wasn't like that smooth black base made me think more of like a Terra Moon's multi-chrome. Terra Moon's has some of those like more sparkly multi-chromes, but also Cleona has like a sparklier, it's like more of a dry formula of the multi-chrome versus like that creamy Aurora Flare formula from Divina.
Yeah, I think, but it's kind of a softer multi-chrome. It's not as punchy, so like it was colorful without being like over the top, because she's wore it to work. She was at a conference, so I think it looked really nice. The shades I used today look really nice and worked well. I just did a quick couple shades.
Yeah, so we both own it.
I will say I'm annoyed that I pre-ordered and everything, and it said like estimated delivery was the launch day, and it didn't ship until 2 days after the launch day, which is why I didn't get a video up before. I was gonna hopefully have a video up before Steven got here for the weekend, but I did not because they didn't ship it. Like it was and then they said it would be at Sephora at the end of the month, but then it was at Sephora like on launch day, so people were able to go pick it up before mine even shipped. Like it was a mess.
And they got Sephora points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little annoyed at that too, because it's like, it just felt like sloppy. The launch felt sloppy. I will say, I like the color of the palette on the outside. I do not like the texture of the paint splatter.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't like that like rubbery kind of.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Plasticky kind of feel.
If the whole palette was that, it would drive me insane. But like little texture, pops of texture don't bother me.
I think my favorite palette texture from her is the pastel. It's a really nice,
like a soft matte.
Soft matte. It is. It's such a beautiful palette too. Like,
and it doesn't smudge like Glam and Bronze do.
Yeah, yeah. So
videos from me soon on this, and then Instagram posts probably. For video.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so next is the new Gourmand Girls Spooked palette. So that launches on the 26th, and we've gotten a sneak peek of the outside. I know what the inside looks like because I'm getting it in PR, and she sent it to me, and I'm very excited for people to see it, and I can't wait to try it. Are you getting this too?
I'm probably gonna skip this one.
Okay.
I just really need to slow down with my spending, and also Halloween just isn't like my thing. So I tend to like not buy things that are very Halloween-y. I tend to not like those colors together, like purple, green,
orange,
and orange together. Like they're just weird tones for me. I'm more of like autumnal tones, which I know we're probably not going to talk about it today, but there is a new Nomad palette coming out, which is probably going to be right up my alley versus the spooky.
Yeah, I do think it's pretty easy to be tacky with Halloween palettes and Christmas palettes. From what I've seen so far, I don't think this is, I think she did a really good job on this. So I'm excited to see it in person and try it. I should have it in the next day or two. So I should have a video up like the day it goes live.
Sweet. I really enjoy the outside. The fact that this spoofed lettering has almost like this multi-chrome effect makes me think there's gonna be something really fun inside.
Yeah, I think it'll be really nice. And then speaking of the Nomad palette, she did post a couple shades today, if we want to mention that real quick.
Okay.
She did sneak peek like a couple of the shades.
Okay.
So she did post 4 shades from the palette today, and I love these. The imprints are cute. The little pumpkins are cute. These are the colors. I like these colors all year, especially the top 2. Like those are my neutrals. So I love that. I'm super excited for this.
I'm really excited. I know when they were sneak peeking, before they sneak peeked the last one, what was it, the cloud?
The Costa Rica one,
Yeah,
the Cloud Forest.
Yeah, before they sneak peeked the Cloud Forest, they posted in their stories like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see next? And I was like, I want to see fall tones, basically. I was like, give me all of the reds and the browns and the dirty greens. And they were like, well, this one is going to be a lot brighter than that, but just wait for the next palette and you'll be really happy. So yeah. I am really happy. Like, these are like my favorite kind of tones. It just makes me feel warm and just like cozy.
Yeah,
I'm ready for cuffing season.
Especially for Seattle. I don't know about Chicago fall, but Seattle fall, it's okay around like early October and stuff, but then it gets very gray and wet. So like I miss New England fall, and this makes me think of that like stereotypical leaf color New England fall vibe that I miss.
Chicago is not as wet as here, and not as foggy as here. But we're not as like colorful and bountiful as New England. So we're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So, but these are definitely my fall tones for sure. Like I'm getting like cranberries and, apple picking, and I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like
I think that's apple cider.
Apple cider, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then she said there's 2 more palettes this year, 2 launches. So there's this one and then one more by the end of the year. I'm excited to see what they are.
And we're both gonna get those. So Colin will definitely have a video up. I might do an Instagram live. That seems to be my favorite way of like doing new palette stuff. It's just like jumping on Instagram live and like doing a look kind of a thing. So let's show one more thing.
Yeah, I think we're running out of time before we gotta go to the airport.
Yeah, I gotta get home. So
the last thing is Trixie Cosmetics revealed the new Girl Talk collection. So it's a palette. So it's the Girl Talk palette. For $48, and it comes with stickers to decorate it. The How Rude lip gloss, which I love the Trixie lip gloss. I just organized all of mine, so I have like a giant tray of them because I have 18 lip glosses, 3 lipsticks, and a liquid lipstick from them.
Yeah, they're definitely a Trixie fangirl.
And then there's a new robe and some new lashes, and then you can get a bundle of everything. I think it looks really cute. It's very pastel, it's very 90s. I think it looks really cute. I'm hoping that they show up on darker skin tones, because pastels are notoriously bad at that. Mm-hmm. And this has more shimmers than normal. Like normally her palettes have like 2-3 shimmers and are mostly matte, but this is like half shimmers. This is like 5 shimmers, 7 mattes or something.
Yeah, I do worry that some of the shimmers might be a little ashy. But some of the other tones are very like bright. Like the pink looks very bright, the purple looks very bright.
That dark cool tone purple looks really pretty, and the shade that's supposed to be the color of the like purple Game Boy colors that I had. I'm excited for this. And then I have already spent my budget for the month, but I will probably still be buying this. You just tried Trixie Cosmetics for the first time today, so like I really like their formula. I like all of the palettes I've tried from them. I think it's pretty pigmented, blendable. The shimmers are nice. The color stories are really unique. I think you get a lot of product for your money, but like you're unbiased. You just tried it for the first time today.
So my opinion, I use the Plant Gay palette, is that I don't think I applied it the right way. I'm not mad at my eyeshadow look, but I think I always set my eyeshadow base, and I think with this formula, like it probably would perform better on like a more like slightly tackier eyeshadow base.
Yeah, I don't set my base ever, so that probably makes a difference.
I feel like it performs similarly to how like Nomad performs, except less kick up.
Yeah, there's definitely not very much kick up.
Less fallout. I didn't have much fallout on my face at all.
Yeah, you had like a couple sparkles.
Yeah, just a little bit. I liked it. I think they blended very nicely. I think they built up very nicely. The tones, they worked really good. I think the shimmers were the only thing that was like a little...
they're not very sparkly shimmers.
No, they're not sparkly. And so like I was hoping for just a little more sparkle, But I do like the shimmers. I think the shimmers like blended out, like they can blend together nicely. I think the shimmers are almost kind of like a satiny matte.
Like the dark green that you have here looks a little satin.
Yeah. I found that the shimmers work better with my fingers than with my brush.
I do think they pop a little bit more and look more metallic with a glitter glue under them.
Okay, which I also do not use. So my very, very first impression is that I did not hate it and I would try it again.
Yeah.
So if there's a sale, I might buy one of the palettes. I think what I would like from Trixie Cosmetics is, I doubt she'll ever do this, but maybe something a little more neutral. Like if there was like, if she wanted to come out with like a Patricia palette or something, like a Brenda palette, something like very simple and like your everyday girl on the go kind of palette. I think I'd be kind of interested in that. And I think she could like maybe find a way of working that into the brand.
I think she could do something like that. She does put neutrals in every palette to ground it. The most neutral is probably the Cassia palette because it has like multiple browns.
Yeah.
And then it has like the red and the blue to like add some pop.
I think the red and the blue are not the right tones for me though. Like I generally don't use red and I generally don't use blue. So
I'm a slut for blue, so I was excited for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this one is really beautiful. We watched the reveal yesterday together, and I was like really, really excited when she was swatching these shimmers because these shimmers look very reflective, which I love that. So I'm wondering if this is like a new shimmer formula.
She does have more reflective. So the Totally shade that you used is not as reflective as some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So like it's not a uniform metallic formula.
Okay.
Some are a little more satin, some are a little more sparkly.
Gotcha. And then I know she has like a special formula that's very unique, which is like a glitter with...
Yeah. It's like a weird shimmer with a pressed glitter morphed together. Like you swatched them. Those were really sparkly.
Yeah, they were really good. So I'll be excited to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I'm not buying anything. What do you think you're going to be buying from this collection?
Probably just the palette, although the palette plus the lip gloss together is more than doing the bundle that also includes the lashes. So maybe that, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, yeah, we'll see. And then when does this come out again?
This launches on Friday. So I don't know what today is. Today's the 13th. So Friday the 16th at 10 a.m. They always launch at 10 a.m. West Pacific time.
Do they have any discount codes out there?
Not that I know of. I look for one every time. If you sign up for their mailing list, you get a 10% off like new customer thing. But that's the only discount code I've ever seen.
So how many emails do you have that you've created in order to get a discount?
I've only done it the once.
Okay. Well, you should create a new email every time and get that 10% off.
I think you also have to sign up for the text messages, and I only have one phone number. I just want to be on their PR list. I love them all. I buy them all. I want to be on the PR list.
That would be amazing. I think you can make it happen.
See, isn't that cute?
That is really cute. That is really fucking cute.
It looks like the poison ball.
Look on the back, you can peel it off and it has poison on the back.
See, really that's why I want to buy that one specifically.
How much is it? It's $25 for nail polish.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's too much for nail polish. And I'm bougie.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all we're going to talk about today. I will hopefully have this up maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't think today because it's already afternoon.
No.
So, thank you so much for watching, if anybody actually watched the whole video, and thank you so much for Steven for doing this and being like, I'm glad you finally got to come visit. Yeah,
it's been really fun. Being in Seattle for the very first time. It was really nice to meet you, meet your partner, meet your dog, and your friends, and just explore the town. Yeah, it was a really great time visiting. I had a really good time. And this was also really fun to talk about new makeup with you.
Yeah.
In person.
Right? Not just via messages.
Yeah, and since I haven't really been paying attention to makeup lately, this was really fun to see like what actually is coming out.
And how much of it you were like, no, I don't care.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I've figured out through my 6-month no-buy, is that like I really have no desire to own anything, except for Natasha
a few very expensive things.
Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, and Cleona and Tara Moons. Those are my 4 weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I should just unfollow them on Instagram.
So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.
Bye.